Hi everyone, I wanted to take a few minutes and walk you through the process of downloading your grades from Google Classroom and uploading them into Q. So this will take a couple of minutes of time, just so you know, and I wanted to kind of let you know ahead of time some little tips or a tip to make sure that you're aware of before you start this process. Number one, be aware of extra credit. If you assign extra credit, I would do it separately inside of Q. I would not do it through Classroom. It doesn't recognize it. And then second of all, make sure that you are aware of any changes that you make inside a queue. So let's say you go through this process and you upload your grades and you put them in there. Okay, if you do that and you go into queue and you make some changes to it, the next time you do the download, it might affect those changes because it overwrites them sometimes. So I'm just asking you to be aware of that and watch it. And you may even want to try it one time just to check to see if it makes changes that are unfavorable for you. Okay, so to get started, you're going to start off with, I'm just showing you an assignment. For those of you who've never graded in Google Classroom, this is what it looks like. So you have 3 sections over here, especially when kids start to turn things in and assigned and graded. You'll have 3 categories by the time you start the grading process. So for right now, I've gone through and I've graded a starter that the students did the other day. I've assigned every student a grade. And fortunately, this is one that I made sure everybody turned in, so I don't have any sitting in the turn-in pile. What these 3 piles mean is the following. The one on the left, turned in, means that it's waiting for you to grade it. Side note, you cannot do this process until you've graded everything that can be graded, okay? You may have some kiddos over here in the assigned section, meaning those are kids that have not done the assignment, so it has not been turned in. Those you can still work with. So if you have a number right here other than 0, then you can still do this process because it'll upload it as a missing grade, which, happens to us a lot. But just letting you know, if this is a real number right here, then you're more than welcome to still go through this process. And then this is your graded pile. These are the ones that have been officially graded, and these have been returned to the students. You'll see there's a button up here that says return, and mine is grayed out. That means I have returned all these scores to the students. Now, if I had not returned them to the students, it would say draft beside here in italics, okay? Just so you're aware of some things to look out for. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the right-hand corner. You'll see this little wheel. You click on the wheel and you say download all grades as CSV. Please do not choose the bottom one. That one does not work correctly. So you have to choose this one, and then I'll show you how to fix it, okay? So you do download all grades as CSV file. Now, once it downloads, you'll see it pop up down here in the bottom left-hand corner. I click to open the document, and then you see a bunch of stuff come up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't think I did something right. Well, you did. You did it correctly. What you want to probably do is spread columns A, B, and C out past the email address. You can kind of see what you have to work with. What it's done is it's downloaded all of the grades that you have so far inside of Google Classroom. What you want to do is you want to get rid of the ones that you don't want to upload right now. So for me, I only want to do this latest one, which is right out here. So I'm going to take these grades, I'm going to highlight them, and then I'm going to actually delete those columns. Okay, so they're gone. Now, this is just the only grade I want to upload right now. You can upload multiple if you choose to, but for right now, this is the one that I want to upload. You need to watch rows 1, 2, and 3. Please do not delete those. Columns A, B, and C, do not delete those as well. Okay, so make sure you leave columns A, B, C, and rows 1, 2, and 3 alone during this process. Then you want to go ahead, and since you've made changes to the file, you need to save it. I always rename it because it comes in as this long name that is just too much for me. So this is period 1, and this is my 825 starter. Then you need to choose a destination folder. A lot of times our computers will default to the downloads folder because that's the type of file this was. I just created a file on my desktop, and it's called Classroom Grade Downloads, so I can just shove them in there, okay? So that way you kind of have the downloaded file accessible to you, and then periodically you can go in and clear those files out if you want to. So I click Save, and now my file has been resaved. I can click out of that, and then I'm going to go to Gradebook. And from here, what I want you to do is once you go to Menu, and then you're going to go down to System and over to Process Manager. You're going to open Process Manager and you get a big blank screen, except for two buttons over here. You want to choose Data Imports. So you want to click on Data Imports, and it already defaults to Google Assignment Import. So there's nothing you have to do there. Make sure you choose the correct period. This was period 1 that I'm working with. However, this is not the right category. This is not an assessment. It's just a starter that I use for virtual participation. So I go ahead and I select my correct category that I want it to fall under. So side note, be careful when you're uploading more than one grade. Be cognizant of the fact that it's going to only upload into one category, and you have to choose that category. Now, you could change it in Q later if you wanted to, but my personal suggestion is that you only choose grades that can be uploaded at one time in the same category. So you may have to do the process a couple of times with different categories selected, but you really want to make sure you group your grades carefully. Then you go ahead and choose your file. There's my file right there. Usually I have more than that, but I cleared it out for you guys, so it will be a little bit more clear for you. So I select my file. It came, and normally what pops up is your most recent file folder anyway. So that's why mine popped up right away, and there's the file. So I click Open. From there, all you have to do is press Run Process. I'm going to run the process, and boom, this is the magic right here. All of your grades are now uploaded with that one particular file done for that class period. So this is a really great little process to use if you're interested in using it. You may even want to try it one time, see if you like it. I actually encourage you to try it a couple of times because oftentimes the first time is a little tedious and you're like, oh, I don't like this. But if you try it a couple of times, give it a good go. And if you like it, great. If you don't, you can still go back to our old-fashioned method, which works just as good. For those of us who are in the generation who took typing classes when they were young, and yes, that was me, so it might work for you as well. Just to check everything, I'll go over and I'll go to my gradebook and show you real quick what it looks like. So here's my gradebook, and there it is right there. Starter on 8/25, and then I check, and yep, everybody's there, so it uploaded correctly. Okay, so that's just a little overview of downloading your grades from Google Classroom and then re-uploading them into Q. Hope you like the process, and I hope it helps. Have a great day.